Today I'm reviewing the Knife Standards RR3. Knife Standards, or ATR, is one of my favorite YouTube reviewers. His channel, Knife Standards, is one of my favorite YouTube channels. He also has a knife company called Knife Standards, and I think they make some of the best knives that are coming out today. ATR has influenced me, and in our communications on Reddit, he encouraged me to start a YouTube channel. And I promised him that I would review the RR3 for my first episode. So let's get into the review. What's up, guys? I'm Garrett. You're tuned in to the Cutting Room Knife Review, where I review knives, blades, and all things sharp. Please like and subscribe so I can keep bringing you more killer knife content. Let's check out the Knife Standards RR3. It comes in this amazing case. I really like this little case. It's better than any taco I've ever gotten. It's not a Pelican case, but it has a nice, hard padding to it. It's going to keep your knife nice and safe. What we have in here is going to be your paperwork from Knife Standards and your knife in this nice hard foam cutout. The Knife Standards RR3 is a 7.4-inch knife. It is 4 ounces with a 3.2-inch blade. That 3.2-inch blade is going to have a 2.9-inch cutting edge, which is about the perfect size for me, you guys. This knife is the perfect everyday carry size. I think that Knife Standards just knocked it out of the park. You're going to hear me say that over and over and over again today because, frankly, he did. ATR did just a great job on this knife. So I really like knives that are between 7 and 8 inches overall length, with blade length of between 3 and 3.5 inches. And with 7.4 inches overall and 3.2 of a blade length, this is about as good as it gets for me. Now, we have Van X Super Clean on the blade, which is a premium blade steel. I really like Van X. I'm a big fan of it. In fact, I believe that I'm going to have Van X as the steel that my knife model, my first knife, is going to come out in. Why? Because I think that it is an absolutely gorgeous steel. We see the nice grain pattern here. I think it's a great strong steel. It gets really sharp and it is incredibly stainless. I would say that it is the most stainless knife steel, high-end knife steel that's out right now. It just does not rust. It is right up there with Magna Cut, if not better. So we have this drop point shape, which is a great shape for everyday carry. You can do a whole lot with the drop point shape. It is really well rounded. We have a nice big belly here, so we can almost use it like a Tonto, or we can use this as like a secondary edge on this edge, and we have a nice long flat slicing edge, and we have a point for piercing. So covers pretty much all your bases that you need a knife blade to cover. We have a nice jimping up here on the top of the blade. My thumb is going to get plenty of traction on that. I can get my knife, I can get my thumb right in behind the blade and drive that blade through whatever I am cutting. As far as the balance goes, it's a really well balanced knife. I do think that the blade is a little on the lighter side than some other knives that I like, but I don't find that to be an issue on this knife. I feel that it's very well balanced and that it is such a slicey blade with its flat grind that I don't need it to be extra heavy to carry the blade through any of the material that I'm cutting, because this knife just jumps straight through it. This thing is a slice monster. It is just able to cut through stuff like nobody's business. His design is simple. It reminds me of kind of an older style pocket knife, kind of nostalgic style in this blade shape, and I just love it. It is effective. It works. It makes me happy. We are going to have titanium scales. The handle is made out of titanium. It has an orange peel texture to it, which you may or may not be able to see, but it's just enough to give you a little bit of grip. It's not smooth, but it's pretty smooth. I really like it. It's got a fat carbon inlay, and this color of fat carbon is going to be called Camo Carbon Silver Space. And I really like the monochrome look. They have some really good other inlays. They have a watermelon inlay. They have some blues and I think there's probably an 80s camo out there somewhere. I didn't get that one, but you can get lots of different options through Knife Standards, and you will find something that you like. I really fell in love with this look. I think it's understated, but also very classy. We have the pocket clip, and I chose the titanium pocket clip. And as you can see, this is my knife. It has a couple snail trails on the pocket clip because I carry this knife. I take this knife with me and I slice stuff with it. This does not just live in my carrying case, or my carrying case, my display case. This knife comes out and hangs out with me. But as you see, we have a spot for you lefties too. You can flip the sides of your clip and put it over here if you want to operate this knife left-handed. It also comes with a possibility of a wire clip. These dual slots work really good for both the wire clip, and they also fit his all titanium clip, which is just a really cool feature. It's a real subtle feature, but it allows you to have both options of both the wire clip and the titanium clip. Very neat. I think it hides the opposite sides openings for the clip very well. It isn't standing out all ugly in his frame. On the scale, I think that the way this is laid out is really cool. So the pivot cover is a square, and that's kind of unique. I really like how it's a square, and it has the initials of his dad, because I believe that ATR's dad's initials were RR, and his love of knives got passed down to ATR. And I think that's something that really resonates with me, as I have two boys and a little girl on the way, and my love of knives is starting to pass on to my boys. So cheers to that. Cheers to family. I think that's awesome. So we have thumb studs on the blade. We can also front flip the blade. We have just this little bit of a blade sticking out right up here with the jimping. It's just enough to, as I butcher it, to front flip this knife. The knife is running on ceramic ball bearings, and it is smooth. It is super smooth. I love how this knife feels. It feels high end. It feels luxurious. This knife sits nicely with knives of much more expensive costs. I can put this next to my Cortex XL. I can put this next to my Rosie XL. I can put this next to my Machine Wise Sonora. And this thing looks great next to all of them. It hangs with knives that are much more expensive than it is. And these are coming in right in the $350 range. For $350, this is very well the best deal on the internet right now, you guys. For a good-looking, classy, effective pocket knife, I don't think you're going to find anything this nice for cheaper. You might find things that are cheaper that are good knives, but they're not going to look as nice as this. And I would say that you could find things that are looking nicer than this, but can't find it, but that's just not the truth. You can't. I don't think there's anything that looks this nice as far as a knife is concerned, and is as effective or is in that price range. It is just amazing. So it has a nested steel liner lock on it. And I'm not a huge fan of liner locks usually, but this one seems to work for me. I really like the fact that this, non-show scale isn't broken up by a big frame lock. Even though I might prefer a frame lock over the liner lock, this liner lock seems very strong to me. This blade has no play to it. This thing is locked in great. They're nested so you don't see any of the liners except for right here. Has this cutout for the liner, and it fits your thumb really well. It's really understated, doesn't really stand out on the knife, but you're easily able to access it. So I think that this liner works just fine. It allows the knife to be really smooth. The detent is real nice on this knife. It's a ceramic ball detent, and it is just the right amount of pressure. As you can hear, it has a really cool clack to the lockup. I love the acoustics on this knife. Acoustics are a big part of a knife, whether the knife sounds cool or not. Like take, for instance, my Scarab. This is a Microtech Scarab. And when you put out, that's just a cool sound. Not all out the front automatics sound like that, as my Scarab misfires. But that is a great sound. This sound is a really cool sound to me. It's a pleasing sound. It isn't overly loud. The Rosie XL has this really big crack to it that's really cool. Some knives have sounds that kind of have like a thunk to it. I really don't like, let's say, Vero makes one called the Axon, and I'm not a big fan of the sound that that knife makes when it locks up. Nothing against the Axon as far as a knife's concerned, but just the sound that it makes isn't for me. The sound this knife makes is pleasing to my ears. It's a nice crack. It sounds like it is locking up, sounds like it is locking up solid. So, we have all titanium hardware on this. And one last thing is that the manufacturer is Bestech. And Bestech, being the OEM, really impresses me. Bestech has been coming out with some of the best knives. Some of the best over the ocean, over the sea, over in China. Some of the best OEM knives are coming out of Bestech right now. And this is a prime example of it. I really am enjoying this knife. I'm really enjoying a lot of what Bestech is putting out. I really have to hand it to ATR, Knife Standards. You put out an amazing knife. This is a winner. This is straight up a winner. This hangs with all my other, $1,000 range knives, and it is a third of the price. And so you just hit a home run, my friend. I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10 just because it's my first review. I don't think it's cool to give somebody a 10 out of 10 my first review, because I would just set a really weird standard. I'm going to give it like a 9.6, 9.7 out of 10. This is about as good as it gets for the money. The only thing that I might change on it would be perhaps a frame lock. And I'm not even sure that would make it better, but I'd have to check it out to see and find out. We have number 64. I'm not sure if you can see that, but that is my knife. Number 64. I recommend that you go get yours because they aren't going to be around forever. They are a limited quantity. You won't regret getting this knife, you guys. You will not regret it. So let's put it up next to some other knives so you can see the size of it. Next to the pair of 3. Let's put it up next to some other knives, you guys. Let's see the size of it. Next to the pair of 3, we have, it is a little bit about the same size. It's about the same size as the pair of 3, you guys. Just about the same size. Here is the pair PM2. So Spyderco PM2 is a little bit bigger than it. The pair of 3 by Spyderco is just about the same size. We got the Sage 6 from Spyderco, which is clocking in at right about the same size. So both the pair of 3 and the Sage 6 are amazing. Really good pocket knives. They're great everyday carry knives, and this is no exception to that rule. RR3 by Knife Standards, you guys. This is in the running for best knife I'm going to review for a while. It's the first knife I reviewed, and I'm already giving it. I already know it's one of my favorites. I know it's one of the best knives I have. I know it's one of the best knives in review, and it's going to get some of the highest marks from me out of any knife that I review, just because I already know my collection. And this is one of the best ones I have. I told ATR I'd give him my first review, and that's what I'm doing. So ATR, my hat is off to you. Knife Standards, great knife company. Keep your eye on them. Go get you one. You won't be disappointed. So guys, I have so much more to share with you in the episodes coming up. I have so many more knives to review. So I'd love it if you just liked, subscribed, stuck around, came and watched my next video. So on that, I am just going to recommend the RR3D one more time. Knife Standards RR3. It's badass. Go get you one. So I'm Garrett. This is the Cutting Room. We review knives here. Until I see you next time, guys, stay sharp.